For those of you here in the paddock and for those of you tuning in from all around the world, we are getting set to go green with OKN Stars a few minutes before things really begin to kick things off. But my goodness, has this been a crazy season that has now seen 3 drivers enter tonight separated by less than the difference in points from first to second in the main event. The first one, the points leader into the weekend, Nick Terlecki there on your screen, along with Diego Ramos and more. But let's see how they've gotten into the spots they're lined on the front straightaway with going to our highlights from how the heat races and the motos played out yesterday evening. First and foremost here with the OKN Stars, of course, they have to push off from the grid area. Direct drive, no restart, no onboard starter. And, well, if you struggle to get off the grid, Caleb Gaffera, in this case, it was a repeat almost of when he was so fast but missed out on the opening moto of the season at Charlotte and couldn't get off the line. And then the chaos continued in a very wild turn of events in the opening couple of laps. The rain came, you saw teammates colliding, and Gaffera started that race nearly 6 seconds back from the leaders, and still he drove all the way to the front, side by side there with Henry Wheeler for second, and then quickly worked his way up through Austin Olds in turn number 8 and took over the lead. The hometown kid entered this weekend with an outside shot at the championship, and well, that championship had a big lead for Nick Terlecki early on, but ultimately a broken bumper bolt sidelined him in Moto 1 and changed that top spot and tightened from first back to fifth as both Paulie Massimino, who entered the weekend inside the top 5, and Caleb Gaffera were able to close the margin. But then as Diego Ramos became the new points leader after Moto 1 with Nick Terlecki's woes, he too had issues getting off the grid. And luckily, after the second attempt, he was able to get that kart fired up, but he had to start from the tail end of the field. And the number 21 Beryl Art driver was working his way slowly through the pack, but it was not as easy as it was in that first heat race where the mixed conditions kind of slowed everyone up and spread that field out. Ramos was right in the middle of a lot of chaos there with Beckett, Friesen, Aiden Larenko, and more, all just kind of banging tires and not knowing that the championship points leader in one of the closest fights of the year was near him. And then here, this scary moment when Caleb Gaffera's throttle hung in turn 6, a fully stuck throttle demolished the outside barriers there and took a ton of damage to that LEM Tony card. And that opened the door as well for more points on the table as Gaffera was well inside the top 5. Paulie Massimino scored the moto victory going 2-1. Nick Terlecki ended up second, and Diego Ramos was able to rebound to put himself into a pretty good position overall when it came to the main event grid and still manage himself nicely in the points. But let's take you back through it once again. After 2 rounds of motos, and of course after a ton of major moments throughout the season, Diego Ramos has a real shot at getting himself his first career U.S. Pro National title. He comes into today 2 points separated from Nick Terlecki. It might as well be a dead-on tie. But Paulie Massimino, by winning Moto number 2 yesterday and going second in Moto 1, being only 18 points out of the lead, he's now in control of his own destiny from third, where if he could win, he could actually steal the title from both first and second in the championship. And for Nick Terlecki, it is only his first full season in all pro categories and his second in OKN, and he's in the hunt for the national championship. But Caleb Gaffera, Henry Wheeler, they're still in play in 4th and 5th in the points with an outside shot. And for all of your OKN Stars drivers, well, they're just moments away from getting the command to get things fired up. But before we do, we, of course, have to go down to the grid. And to get ready to kick off the night of action, we'd like to ask all of you in the paddock to please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes in bright stars through the perilous fights Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs are bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is almost time to go racing. On the other side of this commercial break, OKN Stars will kick off the Mazda Motorsports Pro Show for the final time in 2024. In just 2 minutes, we'll be going racing for the Stars Championship Series, and we'll be ready to decide our 2024 OKN Stars National Championship.
Are you looking for an advantage in your competition? Well, Kart Class has done the hard work for you. We've traveled to your racetracks to give you the inside knowledge. So what does Kart Class offer? We've got drone footage that captures the racing lines, visual markers for your braking points, acceleration zones, and the best overtake opportunities on your racetrack, pedal cam to show you where to brake and when to accelerate, and 360-degree footage to make sure you don't miss any parts on the racetrack. We've covered 13 racetracks in the United States. And Australia, you're up next. So visit kartclass.com to get your track information.
So you will finally want to get behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 3 years and I've never got to drive.
Well, you're going to need some more gear than just your helmet. Why don't you go to shopakr.com. They got their inventory online and they'll ship it the same day if you order before 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
They got shoes,
Yep,
gloves,
yep,
rib protectors.
got those too.
Can they make me go fast?
No.
Here at Acceleration Kart Racing, we've got everything you need to get on track. What happens next? Well, that's on you. Check us out online at shopakr.com.
Are you a racing enthusiast? Drive Your Line is the Mid-South's only full-service kart shop. We make dreams a reality for those 5 years old and up. All racers start in karting, and we're the purveyors of fun for the whole family. Karting the Coast is presented by Drive Your Line Kart Shop and is the premier race series on the Gulf Coast and brings racing to Biloxi at Finish Line Performance Karting and at the world-renowned NOLA Motorsports Park. Call us at 601-667-0770 or find us at driveyourline.com. Also on Facebook or Instagram.
Welcome back to Trackhouse Motorplex as the engines come to life for the OKN Stars division. The 2024 Stars Championship Series concluding under the lights in one of the most hotly contested championships of any division that we have seen here, with the OKN Stars class separated by less than a handful of points here for the entire top five. And of course, all to play for when it comes to the top three. It's basically winner take all. Paulie Massimino with his friends and family just down the road and here on site as well. He grew up at this place over the last 2 decades. He'll lead us to green alongside the Brazilian Diego Ramos, Aiden Fox and Wesley Gunler, and all Fox and Son Karting Row 2, and all the way down to Theo Corelli to conclude your field. For the final time in 2024, the main event for the OKN Stars division is green as the lights go out here. Paulie Massimino leads our field down to turn number 1.
A good move there by Paulie Massimino to get a good jump. Henry Wheeler as well has a good one. He's able to get clear and up to third now for Henry Wheeler. Those 2 PSO drivers already worked their way up. Nicholas Terlecki side by side with Caleb Gaffera. He's going to lose a spot there. Not how Terlecki would have wanted to start his race.
Not at all. Nick Terlecki knows that he needs to get up to the top 2 drivers because they are the ones that control this championship right now. Diego Ramos, he led a national championship into this same facility around this time 1 year ago and lost it. He led the championship into the SCUSA Pro Tour finale in Newcastle, lost that. But this weekend he trailed coming in, he led at the end of the day yesterday, and now he has his sights set on Paulie Massimino, who also is hunting for his first U.S. Pro National title. Half a second, the gap at the end of lap number 1, Jerry.
Yeah, and his teammate right behind him there, Xander, it looks like it's Henry Wheeler on that PSL karting Burrell kart. And, you know, it's almost like a factor here of, yeah, Diego is in that second position, but if there is any attacks from behind, you know, Diego has his teammate there in Henry that can, you know, fight off anyone that is coming forward. So a little bit of I want to say a cushion behind him, but, you know, if anyone does go to charge up at Henry, I'm sure Henry is going to attack as he should.
And, well, to be fair, Henry Wheeler also still has an outside shot at this title. Yes, he could be the wingman for Diego Ramos, but can you imagine the kind of conversations that he has to be having with the team and with himself out on the racetrack right now? Yeah, overall, they'd love to bring a trophy back to the Red Army that says the #1 plate on it, but Henry wants it to be his, and it's still within reach, although a lot would need to happen at this point. And right now, as they run, Paulie Massimino would snag the title by just a couple of markers over Diego Ramos. And Nick Terlecki trapped further back now. He has fallen still behind Caleb Gaffera, but Gaffera's put Aiden Fox between the two of them. Let's see if Nick can get by him here in turn 8. He'll poke out a line inside and through with a little bit of contact that cost them both some valuable time, Caleb.
That was really, really closer by Aiden Fox. He's going to start to defend from his teammate and Wesley Gunler, who's going on the inside there in 10. He gets clear. And here comes Austin Olds as well, looking to go through on Gunler. Not close enough to get it done that time around. But Wesley Gunler, how about it for the rookie? He's up to 6 now on the start. And Aiden Fox, goodness gracious, that was closer with Nicholas Terlecki to get up to 5th here. But Jerry, you saw at the start of this race, everybody was super busy on that steering wheel. And you know, you have to question how much tire pressure these drivers put in their tires and how low do you want to go?
Yeah, Caleb, you know, with a 18-minute main event and, you know, 2 laps on top of that, you definitely want to make sure that, you know, hitting the tire pressure correctly is the most crucial thing, because over the course of this race, you don't really want to overcook those tires. If you go too high on tire pressure, you know, you're not going to have much gas left in the tank for that second portion of that race, Sander.
There is a long race indeed here on our hands, folks. This is an extra 3 minutes longer than what we've witnessed so far here tonight. And on top of that here, there's a couple less drivers in the field than, say, the action-packed KA Stars division. So you know that they're going to be pushing the limits more of the tires by being able to run clean lap times and brake at their preferred marking points deep and into the corner. That also means that if you've got speed, if you've got some good horsepower, well, you're going to be able to really flex it and show it off, and Caleb Gaffera has that right now. That LEM Tony kart looks like it's repaired and nice here early on in this main. He is all over the back bumper of Henry Wheeler right now to try and chip his way into the podium and maybe give himself a shot to try and run up to the race leader, Paulie Massimino, because 14 minutes plus 2 laps is a long way to go. And guess what, folks? Things just got a little bit closer at the front of the field.
Yeah, definitely getting a lot closer here. Diego Ramos last time around a 46.260. He was 0.3 of a second quicker than Paulie Massimino, as we have a move there further back for 3rd. Caleb Gaffera able to get ahead of Henry Wheeler into the bowl. So there you have Caleb G. Again, like you said in the pre-race show, Xander, Gaffera was out of the second heat race there in turn number 6. So to see him have this pace in this race early on is definitely good, but you have to think about the equipment, on what you have under you and how long it's going to last.
It's only fitting, Caleb and Jerry, that the top 5 in the points are the top 5 on the racetrack here. Very similar to what you see in Phoenix now for the NASCAR playoffs finale. The best 5 drivers over the course of the season are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Paulie Massimino, Diego Ramos, now Caleb Gaffera promoting himself into 3rd with that pass in turn 4 last lap. And then, of course, Nick Terlecki, who led the points into a track that he's statistically not been the best of the 5-at. Of course, Paulie has been wicked fast here. He is one of the most well-known driver coaches when you look for help to go faster on Trackhouse Motorplex. Even James Overbeck, in your interview with him, Jerry, mentioned that he had spent a lot of time with Paulie, getting the extra training and development. Paulie Massimino has, I think, probably helped a good chunk of the podium finishers here tonight over the course of the last few seasons get fast right here at Mooresville. And for Diego Ramos, he's had so many races here in high horsepowered packages that he's become familiar with this place. And of course, Caleb Gaffera, much like Paulie, he's grown up here too.
Yeah, Xander, someone else, we talk being very familiar with Trackhouse Motorplex. Caleb Gaffera, if Paulie Massimino or Hayden Jones doesn't have the most laps around here, you can definitely count Caleb Gaffera into that talks. But last time by, Diego Ramos was about a couple hundredths better than Paulie Massimino, and he looks to be closing into that bumper as we leave the turn 8 hairpin on about 12 minutes left on the clock.
An unfortunate early end here, it looks like, to the hopes, I feel like, for Henry Wheeler. He has continued to fade since the moment the green flag has dropped and the lights went out. Check out Nick Terlecki starting to put some pressure on the number 2 plate as they head out of 11 here and down the front stretch, Caleb.
Yeah, you're talking about Henry Wheeler. He's been super busy on the carburation early on in this race. You saw him kind of reach over to the right-hand side of that go-kart, adjusting on the needles, and now he's going to lose another spot. Just cannot stop the bleeding here for Henry Wheeler. And again, that radiator flaps, it's just a little too high, in my opinion. You would expect drivers to start to have that just that little bit lower at this stage of the race. We're almost halfway through this one, but the issues continue here for Henry Wheeler. And for Diego Ramos, like you said, Xander, he's come close time and time again to a major U.S. national title. He's within the best shot that he's had his entire career here with Paulie Massimino in the lead.
Yeah, there's no one, I feel like, that's experienced more heartbreak than Diego Ramos over the last year and a half. And the number 21 is at the same place where he first experienced his close call with a national title. There's an old saying in racing that you have to lose one before you can win one. Well, he's now got himself what looks to be the fastest kart on the racetrack here, Jerry, and he is hunting down Mooresville, North Carolina's pride and joy from Trackhouse Motorplex, Paulie Massimino. 2 car lengths between them as they head through turn 6.
Yes, Xander, last time by, Diego Ramos on that PSL karting Braille kart was able to go a 10th better than his competition, Paulie Massimino. And, with the benefit of that draft, he was able to pull a little better there. And now going around the double rights, it seems like Paulie has a little bit better through the tighter stuff, but I feel like it's so early on in the race where Diego is able to get onto that notepad and pen and take some notes on his competition, Paulie Massimino.
As they head back up the hill, this is the first time, I think, that we've seen the delta begin to plateau for the top 2 drivers between each other. And Caleb Gaffera actually end up making the most headway so far in this main event. He picked up a couple hundredths, but he's still 2.5 seconds back. And it brings up an interesting talking point here. As fast as these OKN Stars drivers are going around Trackhouse Motorplex, Paulie Massimino couldn't get by Caleb Gaffera. He was stuck in the dirty air, just that little bit of understeer behind him in moto number 1, Caleb.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he was talking about the aero wash behind Caleb G. And if you take a close look at Diego Ramos's front bumper, it's a little bit higher than Paulie Massimino. So that could also be, again, a little bit of an effect to the aero wash. It sits just a little bit higher to the bottom of the racetrack than what you're seeing with Paulie Massimino in the lead of this race. It's one thing to catch up to the bumper of Paulie Massimino, but it's a whole different thing to try and get ahead of Paulie Massimino at his home track.
Yeah, at the same time, Caleb, when we go to these higher speed tracks like Newcastle Motorsports Park or, the Utah complex out there, we always talk about the aero wash. And, at the same time, like you mentioned, whenever we go to Newcastle, we're always putting those bumpers a little lower down, our 125cc and, I believe the shifter classes as well. I've heard a lot of that from the Magic guys. That seems to be the same thing here. Trackhouse Motorplex is a higher speed track and, definitely something that is benefiting Paulie Massimino out front right now.
As they exit and put another lap down on the charts here, still halfway headed this time by. 8.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Gaffera matching the pace, or if anything, going a little bit better at times than either one of your front 2 drivers. Let's take a look further back. How about Austin Olds on that MPG Kart Republic chasing down Wesley Gunler? Last time by, looked like Gunler was a little bit better to kind of pull that gap back forward, but Top Gun was obviously in that fight early on with himself, with Aiden Fox and more, and he started really well. The Fox and Son drivers, again, locked out the inside lane for a little bit, But ultimately, Wesley Gunler right now in the 46 is, I think, under more pressure from behind than he is out front. Austin Olds in the number 50 looks close, as the two of them are both, I think, making headway at the same time on Henry Wheeler. And Caleb, you mentioned it here. It doesn't seem like the Gremlins have gone away for the number 2 plate. And this year, a little bit of a different kind of a bitter ending, I think, for Henry Wheeler's OKN Stars season than 1 year ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a learning experience since the start of the year. He, when he joined PSO karting at the start, he obviously was racing a lot of KA. He was even driving in the shifter at Rock Cup USA, and he was driving in the X30 as well, and just struggled to kind of adjust to the Burrell Hart machine. And as the year continued to progress, he got quick in the KA side of things at the SCUSA Pro Tour, and he was really quick at the Clash at the Club a couple of weeks ago whenever he won against the rest of the field and finally broke out and got that maiden national race victory. But just that hasn't been the story for Henry Wheeler here, unfortunately. He's shown, little specks of pace early on in the races, but just as it progresses, it seems like the carburation gremlins don't seem to go away.
His teammate Diego Ramos seemed to be once again right breakneck even with Paulie Massimino, trading hundredths there from first to second, bringing that gap down to under 3/10, then back up to even at 3/10. And back from that trio, there's obviously another group as well. Beckett Friesen, and only his second OKN Stars start, I believe, leads over Aiden Larenko. Gavin Wardle, Christian Blevins Jr., and Theo Corelli, along with Tommy Traylor, are further back just ahead of Ming Nanzu. All 15 still running, but the focal point right now for OKN Stars is Diego Ramos and Paulie Massimino. And you got to feel for Nick Terlecki right now, the Chicago native, is so close to being able to taste that first U.S. National Championship, but right now he's watching it from 4.5 seconds down the road and counting here, Jerry.
Yeah, and last time by, I believe Wesley Gunler was able to get by Henry Wheeler for that 5th position. So like we mentioned earlier, Henry Wheeler on that PSL karting Burrell still not able to stop that bleeding. And Austin Olds is going to be the next driver to attack him. But yeah, back onto the topic of Nick Terlecki. A little bit of a struggle here this weekend, like you mentioned earlier, Xander. Out of the 5 in the championship fight, Nick Terlecki, this is probably his weakest track, the Chicago, Illinois native. And yeah, definitely for Nick, it's going to be a rough one here. About 4 seconds back is Wes Gunler, and 2.5 seconds up the road to Caleb Gaffera. And Henry Wheeler is out.
Oh,
wow.
Man. Well, we knew that it didn't look good, and I think it's finally expired, the power plant for Henry Wheeler. So one of the 2 bullets in the gun for PSL karting is going to fall down and be our first retirement of this OKN Stars main. And heartbreak at the end of the season for Henry Wheeler. He got redemption at the club a couple of weeks ago, but sadly it will not be redemption in terms of the end of a Stars Championship Series season for the young man out of Ohio. But on the other end, his teammate, Diego Ramos, now I think is on probably his best lap in comparison to Paulie Massimino of the session. Closed up quite a bit, but then right there out of turn number 9, what a launch for the number 40 here. It is so fun to watch these two. They've got almost completely different lines in about every corner of the racetrack if you really pay close attention. And you can see how much they kind of rubber band over the course of a lap. Into turn number 8 and coming out of that hairpin, Ramos seemed like he had a lot better power coming off the slow stuff. And then he had a good run there at the end of the straightaway. But Paulie with a little bit of a wider arc in certain places and maybe more of a wider arc through the exit, gets that kart kind of almost on the outside rim and just rides it all the way, full throttle, and pulls back on the 21 machine. Check that out again, even using the runoff out of turn number 8 where Diego is staying just on the inside edge of the concrete.
Yes, and I feel like the term rubber banded was the perfect way to describe it. We've seen the last lap when they went through the ball, Diego was rubber banding in towards the rear bumper of Paulie Massimino, but a little bit of aero wash through the entry and center off of the corner. Didn't really seem to get too well of an exit, but that time by Paulie Massimino, 46.536, and Diego Ramos a 10th better. So at this point in the race, it seems like Diego's starting to adjust to that aero wash behind Paulie Massimino, and we'll see how close he can get.
It's just about trying to pressure a mistake at this point. But I remember talking with a good driver and friend of the program, Oliver Calvo, when he came here a couple months back for the U.S. Pro Kart Series in KA Senior. He said, man, I thought I put together one of the best practice sessions I've ever had, at least in recent memory. I only made 2 mistakes, and I followed Paulie around the racetrack for the full 12-minute session. He made none. He didn't drop a single tire, he didn't miss a single apex, and he didn't give a single inch more or less than what he needed to go to the absolute limit. when you talk about knowing every inch of this place, and again, the training, the development, there's a reason why many go to him to try and learn all the ins and outs of this 3/4 mile, 11-turn racetrack. And we're seeing that in action here. I don't know if Diego's going to force a mistake out of Paulie Massimino on home turf, Caleb.
Yeah, and according to my calculations here, I've been quiet for a little bit, but if Paulie Massimino does win this race, he'll be up in the championship by 2 points over Diego Ramos. So that'd be 1,054 to Paulie Massimino, and for Ramos it would be 1,052. Again, I'm not sure if they award points for the fastest lap of the race. They do not. So if it does end this way with 2.5 minutes to go in this race, Paulie Massimino will be the winner of this championship by just 2 points, and it will be another chapter in the story for Diego Ramos, and it will finally be that maiden national championship for Paulie Massimino. But Diego Ramos again has a good run here on the back straightaway.
He closes up again into turn number 4. That's been his strong point at the end of the backstretch there with the toe. But yes, indeed, Caleb, as mentioned, it's winner take all for the top 3. Terlecki and Ramos as close as they are, and the 20-point swing from first to second is the difference in the championship. But when we go back to this kind of will they, won't they dance, the last time we witnessed something similar was Joe Turney and Dalton Haynes in a similar moment at the Miami Grands a year ago. And Joe was right on his heels the entire way, and knowing that there was that massive difference in cash money on the line, Turney released the brake with 2.5 laps to go from 3 car lengths back in turn number 8. Can you imagine what it would be going through Diego Ramos's head? Because he finds himself in a similar position. In this case here, for the Pro Division classes, they're on the radar for Mazda Motorsports. But more importantly, for a professional karting driver like Diego Ramos, he has found a happy home with PSL karting over the last couple of seasons, but he wants to deliver them a championship so bad, and he's come up short 2 times now. How bad does he want to bring that title home? It's all that they talk about over in that camp, and it's all he's been focused on through this entire weekend. We've seen him get close. We saw a little bobble right there. He's been almost close enough that if you were desperate enough and you really thought it was your only chance to make it happen, he might be willing to go the distance here. And Paulie has to keep that in mind as well. Pulling that gap back to 4/10, I think that's a safe number. But 2/10 on a normal race, you're good. This event, with everything on the line right now, I don't think so, Jerry.
Yeah, absolutely, Xander. You know, I'm sure with about 30 seconds and 2 laps left on the clock here, if we see Diego Ramos, like you said, get within that 2/10 margin, I guarantee you, to all of you watching at home and live at the track, we will be seeing a move from Diego Ramos on Paulie Massimino, Caleb.
Yeah, all year it's all come down to this. All weekend it's all come down to this moment right here in OKN Stars. The fence line are absolutely packed for their hometown kid and Paulie Massimino, who's 3 laps away of becoming a national champion for the first time in his young career. But he has Diego Ramos as well, who looks to become a first-time U.S. national champion this weekend as well.
Paulie Massimino has made so many lifelong memories at this place. It was the host of his first Pro Division All-Star race win. It's also been the same state in general where he saw his first OKN and 125 Pro Division win as well. He's won KA 100 races. He's trained and won club races and club championships, but never before has Paulie Massimino won a pro-ranked national championship. And as he heads to the line, 2 laps separate. The North Carolina native, Diego Ramos, the Brazilian, continues to give chase as he watches the gap go now just over 4/10 of a second with 1.5 laps to go, Jerry.
Yeah, it seems like he's really starting to get close enough, and we're at the point in this race, Caleb, where it is definitely do or die for Diego Ramos. Paulie Massimino has been able to hold that gap at a pretty comfortable 3 to 4/10, but right there on the entry to 6, we've seen a little bit of a mistake from veteran Paulie Massimino popping that curb on the left-hand side, Caleb.
Yeah, just a little bit, but still holds Diego Ramos at bay. That gap at almost half a second here. Paulie Massimino, 1 lap. 1 lap, and that streak comes to an end here this weekend. 1 lap for Diego Ramos, and you can finally take that monkey off your back, boys. What do you have left? The white flag is in the air for the final time in OKN Stars.
It was a last-second opportunity. Paulie did not plan on racing this championship, much less a single OKN start, but a last-second a seat opened up at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And after winning round 1, well, you had to go to round 2. You had to go to round 3 because you were still in the points. And now, under the lights at his home racetrack with his family, his girlfriend and her family here watching on. Half a lap to go as Ramos gives chase there into turn number 8 for the final time. Over to turn 9, 2 car lengths still. 2 more turns to go. Paulie Massimino got his first Pro National win earlier this year, and as they head to turn 11, they will not stop the partying tonight. Paulie Massimino is an OKN Stars champion.
Yeah, Diego Ramos not able to get close enough there, and that is going to crown Paulie Massimino, the BJR MDR driver. He's going to get his first 125cc championship there. Behind Diego Ramos, Caleb Gafera in that 3rd position on that LEM Cosmic there, as he gets a good handshake there to Paulie Massimino, congratulating his good friend. Nick Terlecki in that 4th position. It was an oh-so-tough race there for Nick Terlecki, just chalking it up to really just not having the pace. A couple of Fox and Sun karts there in 5th, 6th, and 7th. Some good runs from there for them. And
but for Paulie Massimino here, a dominant run over Diego Ramos, securing the championship. Nick Terlecki, so close there. He'll end up with a 3rd place in the points. And more than anything else, Jerry, the sign of sportsmanship from Paulie Massimino to Diego Ramos back and forth. The first moment they got out of turn number 1, they shook hands. But there it is, your 2024 OKN Stars National Champion and your 2-time winner on the season, Paulie Massimino in the number 40. And well, we're going to send him down the front straightaway because he is going to get to celebrate in front of everyone as he spins it around and backs it across the line. Paulie Massimino is your 2024 OKN Stars champion, and his friends, his family, his team owner Brandon Jarsakrak will be down on the front stretch to congratulate the hometown hero, and he is undefeated in his home state for the Stars Championship Series as well. He wins to open the year, and under the pressure of one of the best in the business, one of the most technical drivers on the grid for the entire 18 minutes and 2 laps. Caleb Viesca, let's go down to you here down on pit lane.
Thank you there, Xander. Yeah, Paulie's actually asking Carlos to come down and a little bit of his family members as well. But Paulie, it's been a long time coming. You're a national champion in your backyard. How does it feel, man? Walk me through the emotions.
do you think we can get Brooke over here, please?
Yeah, we'll get Brooke up here as well, so we'll get that as well. But just walk me through the emotions and what you're feeling right now, Paulie.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hard race. I looked back a few times, and I always saw Diego there. I felt like I got a good jump, and then he kind of wheeled me in. But once he wheeled me in, every time I looked back, we kind of seemed like we had the same distance. So Kart was good. You know, I think I lost it a little bit in the end, but I also think he must have lost it a little bit in the end too because, you know, we didn't get to battling.
Yeah, and I guess lastly here, you see everybody that's here supporting you, your dad, your mom, and I'll let you guys come up here, Paul. What does this mean for you guys? Paulie was talking about y'all's relationship throughout the year. What does it mean for you as well here this week? And I see you guys get emotional.
Kid puts in the work. He never lets us down. It's that simple.
There you guys have it from Paul Massimino and Paulie as well, giving hugs here to everybody. Brooke not down here yet, but again, Paulie very, very happy on what just went on. And again, the entire congratulations going on. So we'll leave this moment here for Paulie, and we'll catch up with him more in this race. We'll send it back up to you guys here for a couple of moments.
What a moment for Paulie Massimino, and he is swarmed by the entire Brandon Jarsakrak Racing, Mike Doty Racing crew. There is his mom as well as his dad, and emotions are beginning to fly. You can see for him, his first concern, Brooke, his girlfriend, he wanted to celebrate with everyone and get the entire crew on down. And in a pressure cooker main event, he withstood the fire from Diego Ramos from start to finish. They were close from the moment the green flag dropped there, and now I don't know if it's quite sunk in just yet, but he is a 2024 Stars Championship Series champion. He is a race winner and a two-time race winner in the OKN Stars class at that. What a performance there to close out the season as well. And I know he's got a lot more of a crowd there standing on the front straightaway as the Pro Stars drivers begin to make their way out. He's still looking around for more of his posse, but man, what a run, what a performance for Paulie Massimino. Let's take a look back here at this Coastal Link recap of how he was able to get it done and conclude his 2024 season with a championship and a race win at that. First, of course, the awesome shot of the direct drive karts firing up and off the grid there from the front straightaway. Paulie and Diego led us down to turn number 1, and it was a clean start for all 15 drivers as they rocketed down the backstretch. Single file up front, double file a little further back, and Nick Terlecki right off the bat faded a little bit into the 6th spot, and that allowed the top 3 to kind of get away. He had to start getting his elbows out, and he got by Aiden Fox early on, but Caleb Gaffera quickly drove through the grid. He got up to Henry Wheeler. Then Nick was able to do the same thing, get by on the inside there for position number 4, and the leaders continue to just kind of keep each other honest. There you could see the PSL boys, the Red Army, watching along as one of their drivers, Henry Wheeler, has the engine let go for him early on, and for Diego Ramos, he was so close. All the way, you could see all of the mechanics and team members and coaches and the team owners on the fence line rooting on the Brazilian, but it was not enough. It was all about Paulie Massimino and Brandon Jarsicrack Racing with Mike Doty Racing securing their OKN Stars championship in their first attempt at it. And, well, you can't do donuts in a single-speed machine, but Paulie gave us about as good of a performance right there as you could, coming across the line at the end here to celebrate and chat with Caleb on the front straightaway. And you can see the emotions beginning to pour out with a very ecstatic Brandon Jarsicrack. And here he is, of course, as well. His family being able to be on site. He said earlier this year that really it all came down to being able to spend more time with his dad, with his mom, and his girlfriend, and all their friends and family at the racetrack. What keeps him going? Well, now he's going to have a fully funded ride for the 2025 Stars Championship Series as he is the OKN Stars champion. So what a run, what a performance here for Paulie Massimino and the BJR MDR crew to secure the OKN Stars championship. And with that, we're only one in to our 2-class main event for the Mazda Motorsports Pro Show here, Jerry, and we go from single speed to gearbox racing action here. What a race we're going to be in store for.
Yeah, absolutely, Xander. We got one of our pro classes down and still one getting ready to go for their main event here. Talon Yackel, I believe, that is on the left side of your screen here, last year's champion. A little too far out in the points from A.J. Myers to contend for that championship, but alongside him is that driver, A.J. Myers, who has been oh so fast this weekend, Xander.
Let's take a look back here at how he was able to get himself into that pole position starting spot. A.J. Myers, of course, and Magic Kart USA, well, they have had one heck of a performance throughout the 2024 Stars Championship season to get themselves into this point. But yesterday, well, it wasn't great for all of the Magic machines. Robbie Boydeshow went around off the start. Jared Ramnarayan went out. Vincenzo Saraceno also out. And the rest of the field battled behind as A.J. walked away, and his teammates were kind of right in the middle of it there, including Annie Rule. Josh Conker had a good start, though. He was able to go forward early, but then the pace kind of faded a bit for the JMF Racing factory car driver. The Canadian fell back behind a little ways, and then there was this scary moment. First there with the MPG machine at the top of the screen, blew a water hose, and not long after, almost right after for CJ Bowman, 3 cars went right into the wall off of all the fluid, but it didn't end up deterring all too much of the chaos there as the leaders got back around to a dry racetrack. Then Moto 2 under the lights here, similar conditions to what they're going to get ready to race in the main tonight, and it was still all about the Magic Man. He was out in front and just straight up gone. Talon Yackel was next best there, running second, and they had a good scrap here for third, including this awesome move from Ian Quinn around the outside to get that spot away, and Gavin Bailiff getting into the mix there as well to move up inside the top 5. Vincenzo Saraceno making some moves down in turn number 8 to get forward after his woes in Moto number 1. And what was really fun to watch here is Annie Rule there on the Magic Kart. She was bringing the fight to Josh Conker, and he was not making it easy for her to get around him. And they continued to start to work their way backwards until finally Annie said, That's enough. And a bump and run to the Canadian saying, well, if you won't let me go, I'll make my way on by. And she knew pressure was on the way because Billy Musgrave and Robbie Boydeshow were closing in fast. And they ultimately couldn't get too much higher on the boards because the leaders were spread apart. And A.J. Myers walked away and did, well, what the Magic Man does. There's a reason why he has over 100 points to his name as insurance coming into tonight. And while the OKN Stars class was one of the tightest championships on the Stars Championship Series, the Pro Stars division a little bit less so. And it's got A.J. Myers, I think, in probably a pretty comfortable mood because his former protege, his student that has now become an equal on an independent footing, Talon Yockel, has not been close enough yet. Billy Musgrave shown speed. He enters the weekend with an outside shot, but again, a long shot at the championship. But we know the All-American badass loves to put on a show here under the lights, and Josh Conker as well has had one heck of a season and definitely had some fireworks yesterday evening in Moto number 2. But they're all in good spirits as we get set to go here for Pro Stars. And check out the kicks there. Ian Quinn, he's obviously having a good time here tonight. A little bit different than the usual driving shoes, but hey, it works. He's had more top 5s and top 10s than I think most shifter drivers on the entire course of the year. So loose is fast, I guess.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Xander. And Gavin Bailiff yesterday had a pretty strong day, I believe, with the P4 there yesterday for him in the second heat race. And as we get it to take a look is what they are racing for here, Xander. Everything on the line for these drivers. They are starting to get suited up now on the front straight for their main event here in moments time.
That's right, folks. Here, A.J. Myers with a massive points lead and the pole position for tonight's main event for the starting grid. And a better look at the rest of your Pro Stars drivers. We'll see you on the other side, 2 minutes away from going green here for this Pro Stars main event.
Go to accelerationkarting.com.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today. USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parolin Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParolinUSA.com. Now the command is ready here, folks, as we go back to the top of the grid. Christian Marsh is there right in front of them all, and for the 22 Pro Stars drivers, it's the final time they'll get released for the 2024 Stars Championship Series season. It's the final session of the Stars Championship Series season, and we are ready to do a standing start here with our gearbox machines one more time. Let's take you through the starting lineup here for your Pro Stars main event. It is going to be one heck of a show here, folks. For Caleb Vieska, myself, Xander Clemens, and Jerry Fandrew, we are ready to bring it all because this is going to be one awesome night of racing, capped off hopefully with another big battle all the way to the end. A.J. Myers on the Magic Kart, and again, Talon Yockel and the father-son privateer entry, the reigning champ, and also the two-time reigning night fight race winner, but he hasn't had to go head-to-head against the Magic Man at this event or in the championship until this year. Back on row 2, Ian Quinn and Billy Musgrave starting 3rd and 4th. Gavin Bailiff and Josh Conker back on row number 3.
On row number 4, Robbie Buccidoso next to Andy Rule in all Magic Kart. Row number 4, Charlie Steins in that Factory Fury GP kart, going to be right next to Justin White on that Factory kart. I believe this is the first event for Justin White on that Factory kart. We're going to see what he's going to be able to do rolling off in 10th.
Vincenzo Saraceno also with the swap as well, starting the year with the Maranello. I believe a last-second opportunity for him to join on the American-made chassis. Rolls from 11th. He's joined by Eli Fox, the second of the two Factory Fury GP entries there in the first 6 rows, with David Carmody and CJ Bowman back on row 7, Caleb.
Mitchell Lowry and Sam Advertsky on row number 8. You go back to Jared Ramanryan and Tegan Poles, both drivers who struggled throughout the pro motos. Logan Hickman and Eric Hugh, your top 10 rows.
The final drivers on the grid here will be Osley Cheek and Frankie Iadavea. Iadavea had a lot of issues yesterday, and as of now, he has not crossed the timing loop, so I don't know if we'll get to see the 476 Maranello entry join us. But with 21 at least that have crossed the line, we're ready for the final time in 2024 to let them loose here. And, well, the lights have lit this place up. The Stars Championship Series event at Trackhouse Motorplex, the night fight, has only grown to become more and more of a marquee event for all of the drivers involved and for everyone that works for the Stars Championship Series and that is a part of this program. They know that the Pro Stars class, the gearbox karts, the shifter karts, are a fan favorite and are a favorite of Joe Janowski and Christian Marsh, and you're about to witness why. There is nothing that compares to the sensation of going from 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds, less than an inch off the ground. But 21 of North America's best are about to do it in action for you. Christian Marsh is ready at the top. He'll send them to the lights for the final time in 2024. Pro Stars for the Stars Championship Night Fight from Trackhouse Motorplex. And the lights are out, we're green, and it's a bit of a false start for Talon Yockel. So Billy Musgrave is going to jump into second as they go down to turn number 1.
Side by side all the way through. Conquer and Ian Quinn already battling it out for the 4th spot. Quinn on the inside, Conquer on the outside, going to slide out just that little bit. Going to lose out to A&E Rule. Gavin Bailiff going to go through. Rule gets sent wide, and Robbie Boydeshow goes through. More contact, Justin White and A&E Rule.
Yeah, Justin White able to slot in there, and that factory card right in front of his JMF teammate there, Josh Conquer, the Canadian, who we've seen struggle a little bit in that second heat race yesterday under the lights. And hopefully for Josh Conquer, he can have a little bit more pace tonight in this main event. A&E Rule trying to get a move there down the inside. We'll see if we can get an update on that in a moment. But Billy Musgrave, the best start he has had so far.
Robbie Boydeshow was actually able to lose a little bit of touch with A&E Rule, as I think Justin White got around her off her attempt. She fell back 1 spot, and now the driver that she had a little bit of fireworks with yesterday, Josh Conquer, has closed the gap there on the factory cart. So 8th and 9th for those two at the end of the opening lap, trailing Robbie Boydeshow, Justin White, and Gavin Bailiff, who concludes the top 5 right now. Now, going back to earlier in the day here, Caleb, you spoke with Marty Yockel, Talon's father, and the two of them have enjoyed getting to kind of take on everyone as a father and son duo and doing their own thing. But they said Marty said he felt like he needed to give Talon at least equal equipment to AJ to try and challenge him, if not a little bit of an edge. And they didn't feel like they had that through yesterday. But he said he felt like he was a little more confident about giving it to him today.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest things, especially that we've seen this weekend, that groove has gotten bigger and bigger, and they were just struggling to adjust with that as well as the weekend progressed. And in his own words, whenever you're fighting against a guy like AJ Myers, who is a multi-time national champion and who has the accolades that he has in the shifter category, it's hard to compete. And for Talon Yockel, and Marty as well was saying that AJ's an open book. He taught Talon everything that he knows, and that's who Talon's mentor was, growing throughout the KZ categories. And for now, AJ Myers as well, he's showing that he's still the teacher and taking Talon Yockel to school, as well as Billy Musgrave, who's probably the veteran of the field. He was able to get that win at the Clash of the Club and showed everybody that age was just a number and put that factory kart machine out up at the top. But again, just his first weekend here at Trackhouse Motorplex. It looks like Talon Yockel, who not his first weekend to say the least here at Trackhouse, is definitely going to look to go ahead of Billy.
He's putting the pressure on, but AJ Myers was still fastest once again by 0.2 over everybody else on the racetrack. That gap opening now to 1.1 seconds and counting here. Talon's going to look low a little bit into 5. Couldn't quite get by Billy there. And through the infield, little bobble for the pair of them. I will say, though, it is probably tougher to run behind someone in a gearbox kart more than any other class because of, we talked about the rubber band effect in the single speed just from looking on the outside. It is a literal rubber band effect here with the way they drive these things, especially for a guy like Billy Musgrave of his experience and caliber. If he knows that he's under pressure, he's going to drive in a little bit deeper, kind of sacrifice some mid-corner speed to force the guy behind him to hesitate to put the power down, get himself squared, and launch away almost like another standing start, just kind of parking it in the center of the corner, but still hitting good lap times. And that, I think, is what's really opening up the gap right now from AJ Myers and the rest of the field.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Xander, opening up the gap. Last time by, AJ Myers was able to set a 45.417, about half a second off of his pole time Thursday night, and already launching off into the distance about 1.6 over these three on your screen here. Someone I was really paying attention to last night that really surprised me, Ian Quinn, that PSL karting driver on the number 297 there. I interviewed him, I believe, yesterday as well, and he told me that they were really working on that setup, but he felt like, he just didn't have that track position early on to, take that charge to AJ Myers, and 477 there, or 476 there, Frankie Idavea out early in this one.
Yeah, the Rockstars driver who was in the points for the subcategory, out and into the wall, and you could see the frustration for Frankie. A year returning for him back behind the wheel after a pretty long hiatus is going to end on a sour note. But like you were speaking there, Jerry, Ian Quinn is looking really good and living up to the words of what he told you yesterday, that they just need a little better start, a little better track position early, and he can bring the fight to the podium. Maybe not to the race win as things stand right now, but he's there, and so is Trinity Karting Group's own Gavin Bailiff, who is inside the top 5 right now.
Yeah, we heard from Marty Yako earlier, in that interview with him and Talon, and he told us AJ was really just in the zip code, his world of his own, and it seems to be the same story here as last time by, extending that gap another 2/10 over your field. However, Billy Musgrave, best of the rest out of second, third, and fourth with a 45.825 last time by. Gavin Bailiff, however, able to pull away from Robbie Bugidoso there, and that is Robbie in the 6th position there. Behind him, a couple of factory karts, Justin White, Josh Conker, and back behind them, Charlie Steins and Andy Rule falling back to the edge of the top 10.
The man they call Thor, Robbie Boydeshow, has been out of a gearbox machine since the Stars Championship Series Pittsburgh round last year, the home race for the Magic Kart USA Checkered Motorsports camp. He has his own set of major accolades, and it was the leading man for the group right before AJ Myers really came into the fold, and he has taken that same flag that Robbie flew for Checkered Motorsports in the early 2010s and onwards, and AJ, of course, has put them on the top step of the podium many, many times since. But it's been a fun weekend. I can only imagine the amount of laps that are going on under the tent to have the two of them back together on the racetrack. And for Robbie, a top 5 would be a fantastic return, considering he's going up against some young guns that have been very active behind the wheel. And one of them, I think, that's getting ready to bring the fight to third. Ian Quinn is all over Talon Yockel, Caleb.
Yeah, Ian Quinn has been on a tear. He was a 10th quicker than Talon Yockel the last time around. Look out for Ian Quinn rocking the Sambas here in this race. All weekend long, I should say, there for Quinn. And wanted to get a better feel of those pedals, and he thought with the change of kicks that would help it out, and definitely helping him out so far in this race as he's closing in on Talon Yockel. Look for it in turn number 8. Ian Quinn fading to the bottom of the racetrack. He looks to go through on Yockel. He gets clear. Ian Quinn is up to third. Talon Yockel looking to go back around the outside. And here comes Gavin Bailiff. Sets up the over-under quite nicely there. He's up in a 4th.
Yeah, for a second there, Talon had his front bumper stuck in between the rear tire and rear bumper of Ian Quinn's PSL Karting Brell there, and that was able to open up the door for Gavin Bailiff to get down the inside and take the P4 position in the double rights there. Robbie Bugidoso also getting closer to the back now of what is Talon Yockel in that 5th position. But yeah, Yockel folding to the pressure of Ian Quinn, and Gavin Bailiff able to take advantage as well.
As they go back to the infield now, we're watching that timer start to get down to the single digits. 10.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. 3 seconds the lead for AJ. And right at the halfway point in this race here, we've definitely got kind of separation of the groups. You've got this group all the way back to Robbie Boydeshow, which we've been watching now with Ian Quinn and Gavin Bailiff starting to put a little bit of a gap back to Talon Yockel. AJ Myers leading by nearly a full front straightaway distance here down to turn number 1. And then beyond that kind of major group, you've got actually a bit of a fight. 8th place right now, just traded hands there. Charlie Steins getting by on Justin White. Josh Conker will be the next one on the chopping block for the Factory Fury GP Kart Motorsport pilot. And for Charlie Steins, this first full year in the pro shifter ranks, I mean, this has been a season that kicked off with the kind of double championship run between the Superkarts USA Pro Tour and the Stars Championship Series. Making it through to Super Pole was the highlight in Orlando, and he's parlayed that into a number of top 10 and top overall results. This could be a heck of a send-off into Vegas season for Charlie Steins and the Indiana-based operation 8th right now with the speed to maybe hunt down the Canadian for position number 7. And then behind him, 2 drivers that seem to always find each other on the racetrack. Vincenzo Saraceno and Justin White. It feels like all year those 2 are just right around each other, and there's obviously a transponder issue of some kind for Vincenzo that's showing him all the way down the boards with no laps turned. But they are currently 9th and 10th, and well, they've gone from Maranellos to factory karts, and either way, they're both dead knots even. 9th and 10th and a car length apart here, Caleb.
Yeah, and again for Justin White, I got the chance to speak to him last night before he went out for the first of his motos, and he was just telling me the difference in getting used to the factory kart. He said, you really have to kind of muscle the thing into the corner and out of the corner, and the Maranello is just super different. It almost seems like the thing drives itself, so he's obviously learning that factory kart here this weekend, and the same goes for Vincenzo Saraceno. But these drivers, I mean, it's pretty much been the story of what could have been for the 2 of them all year long. For Justin White and Vincenzo, they find themselves time and time again with mechanical issue after mechanical issue every single time they hit the racetrack. And speaking of Vincenzo as well, he's just saying just couldn't find luck at all this year. He's 13th in the championship for the driver who was the reigning champion last year. He was the champion of this series in 2022, but obviously as the years have progressed, the level has gone up, and for Vincenzo Saraceno moving teams, it's just kind of hasn't stayed up there with the rest of the field, and obviously bad luck plaguing his entire year. For Justin White, we expected to see him back inside of the podium contentions, but only 6th for him in the championship for now. A driver who hasn't improved a whole lot is Gavin Bailiff, who currently finds himself in 3rd of this championship with 720 points here, Jerry.
Yeah, you know, talking a little bit about Gavin Bailiff under that Trinity Karting KR there. We heard from Gavin and Finnegan at different points in this weekend. We also heard that Gavin is actually building his own KZ engines now, and the parts did arrive a little late to Trackhouse Motorplex, but he was still able to build that engine and get himself all geared up for this weekend. Talon Yakel falling off of this group, still within reach. You know, if we do get a little more fighting here. Last time by Billy Musgrave, 46.3. Ian Quinn, 46.3. Gavin Bailiff, 2/10 better, and closing into that rear bumper of Ian Quinn.
7 minutes plus 2 laps still means a lot of time left, and a lot could change. We've seen many times through this year that the last couple of minutes here in a pro shifter event is where the tires really fade. Of course, the drivers get a bit tired, and more than anything else on this new compound that we've been running this year, the new homologated MG yellow or Vinco red tire seems to really overheat more than degrade. But that overheating issue, if you end up pushing a little too hard, you really pay for it only in the last couple of laps. So we won't know how much someone's going to kind of fall off, but they will fall off a ton, and it will be noticeable if they do, as we've got issues for Tegan Poles, another driver a bit further back, sadly. Won't get to run the full distance here in the night fight main event, but what a battle for second here. Ian Quinn, can he get himself another major podium and be the next best to AJ Myers at AJ's new adopted home racetrack here in North Carolina? He's all over Billy Musgrave. A big run down the backstretch to the inside. Ian Quinn is up to second now through turn number 4.
Yeah, Ian Quinn's going to be one of the names that we're going to talk about a whole lot in the future as he got that move done there on Billy Musgrave in a turn number 4. But for Musgrave, just been falling off the pace here just that little bit, a 46.3 compared to what everybody else is running, just a lot quicker for Ian Quinn the last time around. He got a couple of hundreds, and for AJ Myers as well. I mean, this driver is running 45.8 in an absolute league of his own here at Trackhouse Motorplex. As there goes Gavin Bailiff on the inside of Billy Musgrave. Bailiff is up to 3rd and trying to secure himself further and further away from Talon Yakel in the championship. The 2 of them fighting for the best of the rest in 3rd here, Xander.
Funny enough, as consistent and as fast as Gavin Bailiff has been throughout the 2024 national season, the only podium he was able to secure was at his home racetrack, and it was just a close call there in the main, partly due to penalties after everything shook out. But beyond that, it's been almost for Gavin Bailiff throughout the year. And while he's expected to do good at his home racetrack at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati, 3rd on the racetrack right now, 2nd podium on the year, and another top 5 run, that would be mega in this journey he has had, not just behind the wheel as well, but learning to build his own motors at the on-site dyno they have at their home racetrack. I mean, you talk about a family that is all in and a driver that is all in. Gavin Bailiff just spent the last week and a half going all the way down under to Australia to compete at the national championships there in a partnership they've linked with Sam Dicker's operation, who we got to witness here stateside over the summer. And you don't do something like that if you're not dedicated to your craft and trying to push yourself into new and uncomfortable environments and make yourself a better, well-rounded driver. And in Gavin's case, engine builder, chassis tuner, and overall team employee. So to end off his Stars run with a podium, that would be one heck of a icing on the cake moment, and it might be even better than third, because last time by, I mean, he was really close to the pace level of Ian Quinn. In fact, he was 2/10 better, 46.148. He was one of the fastest on the racetrack there as he tries to close that gap back up to the Bureau Art driver.
Yeah, and it seems like he just had a little more pace than Ian Quinn, and with about 3 minutes and 45 seconds left, we take a look here at the factory kart driver, Billy Musgrave. On that factory kart, he seemed to struggle a little bit yesterday, but was able to get to a really good hole shot there, not a hole shot, a very good jump off our standing start. So not really having the pace in that middle part of the race, but Ian Quinn was oh so strong. He was able to get around the factory car to Billy Musgrave. Same for Gavin Bailiff. And yeah, we talked about Gavin and how much work he's been putting in. And it seems like Ian Quinn's been doing the same. But AJ Myers last time by, 45.834, only 4/10 off his best time. And for for Ian Quinn, 45.673 is his best time, and he's fallen off about 2/10 in comparison to AJ Myers.
Speaking of falling off right now, last time by, I think Annie Rule has faded way back from Justin White and Vincenzo Saraceno. And on the other end, Charlie Steins has pulled away from the factory kart duo there in 9th and 10th. She's going to come under fire from CJ Bowman before too long, and potentially Eli Fox as well, who was having a good scrap earlier with Sam Avrutsky and David Carmody back in the mid-teens. So keeping an eye up the road also, Josh Conker, Robbie Boydishow. I mean, they are not too far apart there as it looked like coming down the front stretch. But CJ Bowman yesterday had that water hose break right here at turn number 3 in moto number 2. He's rebounded, not let it affect him at all. And in one of his first ever Pro Stars entries, he's looking pretty good. Top half of the field for the MPG Motorsports driver, and one of the younger drivers in the field as well, as there's a look at Josh bringing the fight to Thor. Robbie Boydishow now hanging on for dear life. Conker back to the inside in turn 9, and it looks like he'll complete that pass, move Josh Conker up to position number 6. And Boydishow, I don't know if he's got a problem or what, but again, I mentioned earlier here, Caleb, if someone's going to fade off the pace, they're going to fade off fast, and it looks like we've got issues for Robbie in the form of maybe one of the mounts breaking on the nose cone for the Magic Kart. That wouldn't be this massive drop in speed, though. There might be something else going on.
Yeah, definitely something else, and not a good return for Robbie Boydishow considering how he ended the 2023 season with his Magic Kart team. And just announced earlier this month, his brother, Andrew Boydishow, going to return to the seat in 2025 and join AJ Myers on what's set to be, if I'm not mistaken, a full SCUSA Pro Tour Championship, maybe even a Stars Championship campaign in 2025 as well for Andrew Boydishow. So look out for those drivers to contend next year, and their driver way out in the lead with 1 minute to go, and AJ Myers, who's putting on an absolute clinic on the rest of the field. Ian Quinn still in that second spot, and there goes Charlie Steins on Boydishow, thinks better of it. Going to slot back in the line, but Charlie Steins, I think he would have gotten clear if he did fade low, but I think turn number 4 is going to be where he's going to go, and I stand corrected. Going to stay in line for the Factory Fury GP machine here, Xander.
As they continue to roll over to the infield here, 30 seconds to go, plus 2 laps. I do apologize, though, for the pylon on the left side. Just it'll update in a moment there. Ian Quinn still 5 seconds out. The deltas are right. The positions are mixed up, but they will reset here and reload in a moment. 20 seconds plus 2 laps. Can Robbie hang on? He's just trying to, at least this point, I think, survive for a top 10, because there are now, as things run, looking to be potentially still another lap to go. So before we get to the end of the timer, 2 to go next time by as it hits 0 for AJ Myers. And Robbie has got Charlie Steins bearing down on him. And check out Talon Yockel, maybe a bit of a late run. Unfortunately, a little too late to get up onto the podium, but we've got a fight here for position number 4, and this could swing a little bit of kind of how the championship ends up. Talon Yockel entering the main event tonight here, just a handful of points shy of Gavin Bailiff and of Billy Musgrave. If he gets around Musgrave here, he might actually open the door to allow Gavin to steal second in the points. So with 2 to go, Gavin Bailiff and Trinity Karting Group, they got to be rooting Talon Yockel on, because I think if Talon is able to get by Billy, it would get really close. And if Gavin could get up to Ian, it might swing it as well. It might come down to 1 point, though. It's an 11-point difference, I believe. So for Gavin Bailiff to try and make up.
2 sticks in the air this time by A.J. Myers. Just crossed the timing loop and 2 laps to go. And again, look at Talon Yockel in 8. Not going to be close enough. Billy Musgrave going to fade to the middle of the racetrack, looking to fend off Yockel and his Sodi machine there. So we'll see what Yockel has in store here. And again, major championship implications as this race continues to progress. And I'm mistaken, final lap officially underway here for A.J. Myers, who came close to a national championship already in 2024. He fell just short to Mateus Morgado. Issues for him put him out of this one, but this year at the Stars Championship Series, not what he would have wanted, but a consolation prize to say the least here, Xander.
There's no one that has been better here at Newcastle Motorsports Park in the last decade, and now you could probably add Trackhouse Motorplex to that list as he heads down to turn 8 for the final time. A.J. Myers is one of the best drivers in the last 2 decades, one of the best of his generation here. For all the American karting pilots that are watching along at home, this is the Magic Man for a reason, and it is a bit of redemption in a perfect weekend. A.J. Myers dominates the night fight, and he scores the championship as well here in Mooresville, his new home, where he works 4 days a week and 5 and 6 on off weeks to try and make it so he can stay behind the wheel on the days that he can use as vacations or short and long weeks to get over on a long drive or a short flight overnight and then back again into the office. But he does it for moments like this, where he can spend it with his girlfriend, with his family, and with his real adopted family for the last 10 years and counting. Checkered Motorsports and Magic Kart USA, the Boy to Show group. And how about that? A big congratulations from the 2-time night fight winner to now the new night fight champion and Pro Stars champion, A.J. Myers and Talon Yockel, student and teacher. A big sign of respect there on the cool down lap here, Jerry.
Yeah, absolutely, Xander. And those are the final laps in the 2024 Stars Championship Series that we are going to be seeing Talon Yockel carrying that red #1 plate. And I'm sure next year A.J. Myers is probably going to pick that up, but seeing all the congratulations from everyone, there's Billy Musgrave next to A.J. Myers, congratulating him on his win. And to run you through your top 10 very quickly, A.J. Myers able to grab the championship and the win in the Pro Stars Pro Rock Final. Ian Quinn behind him, Gavin Bailiff, Billy Musgrave, Talon Yockel, Josh Conker, Charlie Steins able to get on Robbie Bugidoso, Justin White, and Andy Rule. End of the top 10.
So it'll be a quick victory lap here for AJ if he'd like to take it around, but I think more than anything else, he's got one thing that he wants to do, and it is to celebrate the Magic Kart and the Sony TM Power. The Magic Kart USA group, they're going to be able to make their way down to the front straightaway to celebrate and do a photo op with their leading man here, the champion AJ Myers. Granted, about half of the group will be over in the scale lines there, including some of his teammates like Robbie and Annie Rule. But for AJ, this is the graphic we would have loved to show a couple months ago, and now it is the graphic we get to show. The Magic Man is the champion and a race winner again, this time at home here at Trackhouse Motorplex. And man, what a run. There is a look at Andrew Boydeshow, his return to the seat in 2025. Teammates again, and the entire Magic Kart crew. His mechanic Richie coming up to conclude a season that started off with a bit of a head-scratcher podium in Charlotte, where they seemed to end up frustrated. Even with the top 3 run of where the pace went, well, it never faded away. He was awesome all the way through. And A.J. Myers, I'm sure he would have loved to do some donuts. I know that he would have loved to put on a show for the crowd, but sadly that's not what we're able to do this weekend. We are able to chat with him down on the front straightaway here at Trackhouse Motorplex. The race winner, the champion as well. No better way to cap off a season than pitching a perfect game, Caleb, and he did that. Green flag to checkered flag. Nobody else on top of the leaderboard than the Magic Man.
Thank you there, Xander, and I think you said it best. Picture perfect at your new home track. Walk me through the emotion. You were close already in 2024. Finally get it done here at the Stars Championship Series. Walk me through the emotions, AJ.
No, it's great to get it done. A lot's gone on this weekend behind the scenes, and it's just great to kind of put it out there and dominate. It's a great feeling. It doesn't always happen, and weekends like this don't always come around, so you got to capitalize when they do.
And it also seems like you have two favorite racetracks on the season, Newcastle Motorsports Park, Trackhouse Motorplex. You swept both of those weekends. How special is it to do it in both a track that you grew up racing at in Newcastle and a track that you now call home?
Yeah, no, it's tremendous. I mean, I love winning anywhere. At my original home track of Orlando, I don't think I've ever won a race there. Maybe that's my struggle bus there. I love winning here, and I love driving here. Shifter karts is tough. The K is a better track here, I think, but shifters is always fun. 25 laps of nonstop at night, all coming at you so fast, and it's a blast.
Who would you like to thank for this championship, AJ?
Alessio, Sani, we got Filippo here this time. My dad, Andrew, Robbie, Annie, my teammates, all of them. This package right here, it's the best one out there, and people can say what they want, but haters hate, winners win.
There you guys have it from AJ Myers. Haters hate and winners win, in his own words. Back to you guys.
Well, if you wanted a soundbite, the Magic Man gave you one, and he gave you a masterclass of driving as well. AJ Myers is going to get ready for the photo op here. And, folks, well, we've got our Coastal Link custom printing race recap to bring you a little bit of the highlights from this Pro Stars main event with, just like the OKN Stars, a roll start here for the field as they went around the trophies they were racing for. And off the line, it was a good jump for AJ, an arguably better one for Billy Musgrave, as he was able to sneak his way up and into second, Talon Yockel to third, and then off the bat, Annie Rule just, as they lined up behind her, lost the front nose in turn 4, lost a number of spots on the other end. Ian Quinn marching forward here, getting into a good skirmish with Talon Yockel that ended open up the door for Gavin Bailiff to get through as well and crack the top 5.
Yeah, and Gavin Bailiff there slowly moving his way back up the order as AJ Myers was absolutely opening up that gap to Billy Musgrave and company behind. Talon Yockel still there. Ian Quinn now making his bid for that second position, putting Billy Musgrave back, and at the same time, a couple of corners later, Gavin Bailiff able to put himself into that 4th position.
Then, of course, as the race drug on, Josh Conker was able to bring the fight to Robbie Boydeshow, AJ's teammate under the Magic Kart camp. He closed in, got around him late in the going, but nobody was catching the Magic Man as he cracks the whip across the line. It was a dominant run, and you can see the respect shown there. Talon Yockel tipping the hat, and AJ doing the bow there to the Magic Kart Sony-powered machine, because it was unstoppable every session from qualifying onwards. AJ Myers top of the boards, and what a celebration is in store here for the Magic Kart crew in North Carolina, and a couple of, again, North Carolina-based winners here this weekend for the night fight. AJ Myers still has to go over to the scale area, and the Stars officials, of course, making sure there's no added weight and nothing else beyond that. He's got to weigh in. He's got that cart has to go through post-race tech inspection. But the Magic Man is going to take one quick cool-down lap, I imagine, before he heads on over into the scales. And we'll be headed there as well, because we'd love to hear from some of the other protagonists in these championship battles. Of course, Diego Ramos, so close in the OKN Stars division. Nick Terlecki as well. They had awesome runs in the year. And for Pro Stars, again, giving the fight all the way to the end, the All-American badass Billy Musgrave. Ian Quinn, what a run. What a way to end his year in pro shifter action with a P2 result. And, of course, Gavin Bailiff, his second podium on the season, backing things up. That's 2 in a row now for Gav and the Trinity Karting Group Kart Republic boys from down under, then back up and all around the world here. It is our pleasure bringing you all the action from the Stars Championship Series night fight. On the other side of this break, we'll hear from more of the superstars of the Mazda Motorsports Pro Show.
Are you looking for an advantage in your competition? Well, Car Class has done the hard work for you. We've traveled to your racetracks to give you the inside knowledge. So what does Car Class offer? We've got drone footage that captures the racing lines, visual markers for your braking points, acceleration zones, and the best overtake opportunities on your racetrack, pedal cam to show you where to brake and when to accelerate, and 360-degree footage to make sure you don't miss any parts on the racetrack. We've covered 13 racetracks in the United States, and Australia, you're up next. So visit kartclass.com to get your track information.
So you finally want to get behind the wheel, huh?
Yeah, I've been shooting for 3 years and I've never got to drive.
Well, you're going to need some more gear than just your helmet. Why don't you go to shopakr.com. They got their inventory online and they'll ship it the same day if you order before 5:30 p.m. Eastern.
They got shoes,
Yep.
gloves,
Yep.
rib protectors.
Got those too.
Can they make me go fast?
No.
Here at Acceleration Kart Racing, we've got everything you need to get on track. What happens next? Well, that's on you. Check us out online at shopakr.com.
Are you a racing enthusiast? Drive Your Line is the Mid-South's only full-service kart shop. We make dreams a reality for those 5 years old and up. All racers start in karting, and we're the purveyors of fun for the whole family. Karting the Coast is presented by Drive Your Line Kart Shop and is the premier race series on the Gulf Coast and brings racing to Biloxi at Finish Line Performance Karting and at the world-renowned NOLA Motorsports Park. Call us at 601-667-0770 or find us at driveyourline.com. Also on Facebook or Instagram.
For the Stars Championship Series night fight from Trackhouse Motorplex, the on-track activity has concluded, and it has given us a lot to unpack. Of course, we've been able to chat already with our two newly crowned Stars Championship Series Pro Show champions, Paulie Massimino in OKN Stars and AJ Myers in Pro Stars, with dominant performances. For Jerry Fandry and myself, Xander Clemens, this night's already been a whole lot of fun, but Caleb Viesca is missing from the booth because he's down on pit lane already, and he's ready to chat with some more of our major contenders here in the aftermath of that Pro Stars main event.
Thank you there, Xander. And I got three drivers, I guess, prepped up here first. We're going to start with Gavin Bailiff, Ian Quinn, and Billy Musgrave also waiting here right behind the scenes. But Gavin, firstly with you, a podium to end up the year, and I know two podiums, I should say, to end up the year. Just walk me through this year as a whole and to finish in the top three of the championship.
The season, it was definitely a learning season. It was my first full committed season to pro shifter. So it's been a lot of up and down, especially building my own engines. But I need to thank everyone at home and everyone with Trinity Karting Group and IAME Engines and Kart Republic. Everyone's been so great to work with this season and improving on my driving and the development of the package. It's been great.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, it's been a learning experience for you, but as well, it's been quite a physical one because the races got a lot longer this year and the different formats as well. Walk me through what I guess you thought about it as a whole and the longer races that have, provided you guys with very, very tiring races.
Yeah, I personally love the format. I think it's great just how quickly they turned all this around into the pro deal, and I would like to see it continue to grow for next year. And these long races are they're physical, but I think I'm outlasting quite a few of these guys. See them fading off towards the end of the races. I'm still coming. Just missed the card a little bit this time, but I love it. It's fun.
And it was a great year for you to say the least. Who would you like to thank for all the hard work this year?
I got to thank both my parents. They put all their time and effort into this. Obviously, Jarrett, Finnegan. Gosh, there's so many people to thank. Everyone back home that can run the Cincinnati track while we're gone with the team. Obviously, need to thank IAME Engines and Kart Republic for everything they do as well.
Might want to thank your girlfriend as well before you get in trouble.
Yeah, I think she's watching. Thank you, Ella, for supporting me and everything that I do.
Well, there you guys have from Gavin Bailiff. A good save there, and you're welcome for that. So that's good enough there for Gavin Bailiff. We'll move on here to Ian Quinn. Ian, we'll get you up here now. Ian, I mean, it's been a great year for him, to say the least. Get on up here, man. You have been in the gym throughout the offseason after the 2023 season. You obviously put on a little bit of weight to be able to, handle the shifter kart. Walk me through the preparation for this 2024 season and how it kind of panned out for you.
Well, I've been looking at actually a lot of the weirdest machines that I can get because I'm just like that kind of guy. But I've been doing a lot of the hand cycle, for example. Quick explanation, bike usually, you cycle with your feet. This one, you're cycling with your hands. I do maybe 10, 15-minute sessions on that just to, in and amongst other workouts. Do a lot of the chest press, a lot of upper body, a lot of wide stance pull-ups and chin-ups and pull-ups. Reps are really important with these carts, because you're not really lifting a ton of force, but you're lifting a small amount of force for a long amount of time in many, many reps in the go-kart. So reps, 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 and more reps.
Yeah, and actually, your pace this weekend was great, and it almost went progressively getting better in a second place tonight. Definitely felt good. How was it in the driver's seat here for 25 minutes?
It was rough, man, real rough. The heat race, heat races at the end of them, I was a little bit out of breath, but in this final, by the end, I was just doing my best not to make a major mistake that would lead to everybody else going by me. So, it's also the tire dag throughout one big session like this. You start the session with new tires and you end with, just about as much time on them as you will have for the entire weekend. So you really have to keep your mind sharp. You really have to pay attention to, okay, I need to brake a couple feet earlier here because I don't have as much grip. I can't carry as much min speed. I need to change my shift points, maybe a little bit. But there's a lot of factors that are always changing. You have to stay ahead of it.
And lastly, who would you like to thank for making this 2024 season possible for you?
I'd like to thank PSL Karting very much for helping to mold me into the shifter driver that I am. I still have a lot to go, but we've made a lot of progress this year, and I'm really happy about it. I'd like to thank Mark Steele for Steele Motorsports and my dad. They've been by my side this whole time, through thick and thin, through good starts, bad starts, driving off the track, keeping it on. They've always been motivating me to be better, to do my best, and I owe everything I have to those people.
Well, there you guys have it from Ian Quinn. Definitely a driver to look out for in the years coming here in the future. So thank you very much, Ian, for your time.
Thank you to Caleb and Kart Chaser.
Well, we appreciate that. Billy, going to be the last driver here ready for you, my man. It was the best start you've had all weekend long in that main event, but obviously didn't pan out that way. Walk me through that race.
Tried a couple things on the setup for that main event. I'm still kind of learning the track. I haven't never been here before, so kind of still trying to figure out what this track likes, what the kart likes. But honestly, my biggest mistake, I tried some different brake pads for that main event, trying to fix an issue that we've been having the last couple months. And it was okay for about the first couple turns, and then after that, I really couldn't touch the pedal without trying to break the wheel out of my hand. So it was what it was. I just had to kind of drive around and use the gearbox to slow myself down and just drive the go-kart as best I could. So was able to bring it home in fourth, which I think gave us second in the championship. So, we'll take that, basically just testing and learning and trying to apply all this for Supernats this year so we can come in swinging.
Yeah, and next, I want to take you back, I guess, to the SCUSA Pro Tour, wherever you were able to get that win, and as well to the Clash of the Club, where you got a win as well. And it's been a good year on the racetrack as a racer, but as well as, a kart manufacturer, because your brand has grown a lot over the past year. Just walk me through what that's been like for you.
Yeah, it's been huge. I can't be, I couldn't be happier with where we're at and what we've done in the last, 6 months. Especially getting just all our programs dialed in, just kind of figuring out what the kart's like, just fine-tuning over the last, really 2 years. Haven't changed the chassis geometry too much, just been refining and putting our program together. And it's been, been fast in shifter, fast in four-stroke, been fast in KA. So just kind of been putting all the pieces together, been super, super happy. I think we're in a phenomenal spot, as a manufacturer going into the next, really our next big race will be Supernats. So, yeah, I'm just super excited. And even on races like this where, I'm disappointed and my head's spinning a million miles an hour right now, it's still good because we're still learning, still developing, so we can take our mistakes here and move that forward and make sure we don't do that again.
Sounds good. And lastly, I know it's been a group effort to get you out onto the racetrack this year. Who would you like to thank for this 2024 season?
Everybody back home in the factory that's been helping us out and putting in the work, all of our customers that have been choosing to support us and American Made. Thank you to Frank Baldozer and Baldozer Racing. Without you, I couldn't be here doing this. Happy to bring back a couple more wins this year. And thank you to Carlos Racing Engines. Man, the power this year has been phenomenal. The feedback and the teamwork that we've been able to, the package that we've been able to put together has been, like you said, been really, really, really competitive. So Nathan at Vermont Kart Company, all the boys over there, everybody back home, 557, I don't know, whoever else, Blake at Cypher, Brian at Piston Bones, all you guys back home that support me. Thank you all. And my wife back home. I always forget to. She always gets mad at me when I forget to mention her. But Chandler, I love you.
Great save, just like Gavin there from Billy Musgrave. Well, there you guys have it from the All-American Badass. I was going to say the next time we'll see you is at Las Vegas, but I heard a little birdie maybe next week at TSRS?
Oh, yes. Actually, I'll be jumping back in the seat in a KA100 for TSRS next week. I think we're bringing out like 6 or 7 factory karts for KA Senior.
Well, Xander better watch out because he's going to be in the same race, but we'll send it back up to you guys in the booth.
Man, I'm just hoping I'm able to keep up with the All-American Badass. There's a reason why Billy Musgrave is as good as he is, and that is because you got to stay active behind the seat. You got to train well. You got to train hard. You got to race against the best. And, again, like he said, he's frustrated with the 4th. If I get a 4th next week, I'll be pretty stoked about it, Jerry. Man, what an awesome weekend of racing here. We have been so lucky to be able to get to call the action. And the way this night has unfolded, you talk about a crazy edge of your seat OKN Stars main event, and then a straight-up masterclass from the Magic Man himself in Pro Stars.
Yeah, absolutely, Xander. Nothing different from what we've seen from AJ Myers all weekend long here at the picturesque Trackhouse Motorplex. It was to get a beautiful shot here from our drone cam with the night ending there. Diego Ramos here.
So
go
close.
through our recap for Diego Ramos. He was so close to Paulie Massimino. Gavin Bailiff there as well. And OKN Stars action here.
Yeah, this was a great night of action here for the Mazda Motorsports Pro Show, for everyone at Trackhouse Motorplex Stars Championship Series, and, of course, Jerry, yourself, Caleb, and myself here with the entire Kart Chaser production team. We've been able to witness greatness 2 times over, and now champions are crowned. The celebrations can begin. And for all of you watching at home, thanks for joining us. It's been a great night of action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to get things started with our podium ceremonies. So first and foremost here, a huge thank you to everyone for coming to join us for Racing 2024 Stars Championship Series. The night fight has been awesome, and tonight we were pretty much all on schedule, and a good part of that comes from all of you being so prepared, being able to hang out with us, be on grid on time, at tech on time, and well, it's about that time for podium ceremonies, so we're ready to kick things off. We're going to go through our entire night fight, main event podium, and then through the championship podium as well. Kicking things off with the veterans here, KA Masters. Third place in your KA Masters main event, Eric Heinig. Second place in your 2024 Stars Championship Night Fight KA Masters Final, Jacob Neary. And your main event winner here in a one-off start and one heck of a return, your KA Masters main event winner, Dusty Davis. Lots of prizes here for the Stars Championship Series and the boxing gloves to go along with the Night Fight Trophy. Fellas, if we can get those trophies high up above your heads, and give it up for your KA Master podium. All right, from the KA Masters here, we move on to some of the youngest superstars in the Stars Championship Series. The Micro Swift main event was absolutely phenomenal. First up, third place at the end of it all, Santiago Orioli. Second place in your Micro Swift main event, Jaden Francisco. And doing what he needed to do to put himself on the top step. What a battle at the end. Your main winner, Zane Burgess. The energy's awesome here down at the podiums, folks. These are the future stars of motorsports. Zane, Jaden, Santi, get those trophies and the boxing gloves high up above your heads, and give it up for your Micro Swift podium. Again, one of the cool parts about the night fight and about the Stars Championship Series, the end of branding at each event is so fun for us. It's so fun for all of you as well, I'm sure. With Pro and Rok Masters, that'll be our next category that we get out the trophies on. All right, let's go with our overall podium here to kick things off. First up, your third place finisher in the Pro Masters main event, Matt Machiko. P2 at the end here in your Pro Masters final, your reigning number one plate holder, Joe Rock. And now your main event winner here in Pro Masters on his first return back, Jordan Musser. It was a masterclass for Jordan in the Pro Masters main event. So this, again, the overall for the veterans on the gearbox categories. Fellas, a lot of prizes to give you here as Joe Janowski hands the night fight gloves. And let's get those trophies high in the sky. Give it up for the Pro Master podium. All right, next up we'll do the Rok Masters top 3, the subcategory that we're on track racing with the Pro Masters drivers. As they begin to clear things, we'll move over to the Rok Masters division. First up, third place in Rok Masters, Carlos Lopez. Second place in your Rok Master overall podium, Skitchy Barnes. And your main event winner in Rok Masters, who also ended up in the top 5 overall, Mike Rivera. All right, once again, folks, let's give it up here. Trophies high above your heads, fellas. Your Rok Masters Night Fight podium. And from our gearbox categories back down to one of the ever exciting divisions, your KA100 Junior main event is always fun to watch here. And we've got a third place who got his first KA main event win a couple weeks ago. He's on the box again tonight. P3 for Ty Fisher. What a battle to the end. P2 in your KA Junior main event, Max Weiland. And a first-time junior main event winner, Travis Pettit. What a battle for these 3 young men, and Travis has got the boxing gloves, and we've got trophies for all 3. Trophies high above your heads to the sky, boys. Give it up for the Night Fight KA Junior podium. All right, next up here as the photos continue to fly, the Swift Stars, our 8 to 12-year-old superstars, have always given us good racing action. Tonight was really a lesson about patience and waiting till the very, very end to make your move. First up, third place in Swift Stars, Marco Samet. P2 in your Swift Stars final. And what a return after having to miss out most of this summer, Valentino Santillan! And undefeated 2 weeks in a row on the national stage, your Swift Stars winner, a first-time Stars winner, Holden Myers! All right, boys, go ahead, get trophies up and into the air. Give it up for your Swift Stars podium! Next up will be our KA Stars division here over the course of the season. Massive numbers, including again tonight, where it was just a solid effort to make it into the final 40 that got to race the main event here for the night fight. Third place in your KA Stars main event, Mick Gabriel. A battle at the end here. You talk about patience. In KA Stars, it was a 2-driver fight, start to finish. P2, Carter McMurray. And your main event winner here at Trackhouse Motorplex, he'd never won before. Tonight, he got it done. James Overbeck. All right, trophies high above your heads, boys. Give it up for your OKN Stars Podium. All right, next up will be the OKN Junior top 3 from the OKN Junior top 3 from tonight's main event. And, well, it was a battle to get onto the box, that's for sure. We'll start with that as we dish out more hardware and more boxing gloves from the night fight. The last of our semi-pro divisions, P3, and a dogfight to get it. Little Sizzle, Isaac, good! Moving on to P2 here in tonight's OKN Junior main event, Chase Gassiet Lee. And driving away, OKN Junior by more than 4 seconds, Gavin. All right, and with OKNJ coming to a close now, let's move over to the first of our 2 pro divisions. OKN Stars will be our next class up onto the night fight podium. With the gloves dished out, trophies dished out here, 2 more race day classes for OKN Stars. Sorry, my mistake. One quick adjustment here. We'll actually go to our Rockstars category before we go to OKN Stars for the last of the subdivision. So for your Rockstars top 3. So first up, 3rd place in your Rockstars division, Frankie Ayadavea. P2 in the Rockstars subdivision, Osley Cheek the 4th. There we go. We'll get all those 2 together. And your Rockstars main event night fight winner, Logan Hickman. And up and on to the Trackhouse Motorplex bricks here from the original Parma circuit. Let's give it up for your Rockstars Podium. All right, next up, we'll go now to the first of our 2 overall pro classes. Back now to the OKN Stars division after the dust settled. 3rd place tonight at the night fight, Caleb Gaffera. P2 here and on to the Bucks once again for PSL karting. It's Diego Ramos. And for the first driver to double up and wins on the year, your 2024 night fight winner, Paulie Massimino. There we are, a long walk for Paulie all the way through, but man, did he have to fight for this one, and he had to fight his way through that crowd as well. 26 laps and a slug match to the end. Your top 3, Caleb Gaffera, Diego Ramos, and the first of our 2 Mazda Motorsports Pro Show main event winners for the night fight. Paulie Massimino, give it up for your OKN Podium. And it wouldn't be a Stars Championship Series event if we didn't close things out with the Pro Stars Division podium for both the race day and coming up with our championship top 3 as well. So for the Pro Stars overall main event, first up, third place, Gavin Bailiff. Second in your Pro Stars main event. What a run forward here through the entire weekend. It just got better and better. P2 for Ian Quinn. And there's no better exclamation point on a championship season than pitching a perfect game where you qualify on the pole, you lead every lap of every race session, and you win the final in dominant fashion. Your Pro Stars Night Fight champion, AJ Myers. And to send off our main event podiums here and close out before we get to championships, folks, let's give it up as the boys raise their trophies up for your Pro Stars podium. Now, if there's one thing you know about the Stars Championship Series, we've got a lot of prizes we want to give out to not just our race winners, but our championship winners as well. So give us a moment, folks, while we transition and get set for the championship podiums here in just a moment. We'll keep everything ready, and then at the end of our ceremonies, you'll be able to come up and take more pictures with your entire team. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready now to kick things off for the top 5 in your championship. So if you think you might have been in the top 5 in your points, make sure you're on down here. We're going to kick things off with my apologies, I can't count. Top 3. Got a bit confused, but we do have a lot of top prizes, that's for sure. Let's go ahead here to 3rd for your KA Masters Championship P3 at the end of the 4 rounds for Scott Carapalati. Scott couldn't make it. I know we do have our vice champion right here. Let's give it up for Mr. QG3 Karting, Austin Queen. And your 2024 number 1 plate, well, it's going to be the same in 2025. 2-time KA Master champion, John Bonanno. And along with the trophy and joining the Stars Championship Series prizes, John has won himself a kart stand to go along with it here to add on to the collection. But let's give it up for our KA Masters Championship podium. All right, the Micro Swift Championship saw a ton of drivers hover in and out of the top 5. And, well, we got to give a moment, of course, for the Masters drivers to take all the prizes. But, indeed, a kart stand here for John Bonanno for Micro Swift. 3rd place in the final championship standings, Danny O'Gara. Your 2024 Micro Swift Vice Champion, Easton Kupinski. And by winning the main event and dominating the weekend, your 2024 Micro Swift National Stars Champion, Zane Burgess. All right, boys, raise those trophies up above your heads. Give it up for your Micro Swift Championship podium. All right, next up will be our Rok Shifter Masters Championship podium. I know our 3rd place finisher in the overall points wasn't able to make it, but I know we have our top 2. Your 2024 Vice Champion coming up to the stage here for Rok Shifter Masters P2 for the man from Bermuda, Sketchy Barnes. Let's see if we can get Sketchy on up here. There we go. And, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for your Rok Shifter Masters champion, Mike Rivera! And along with the Rok Shifter Masters Championship, Mike has got himself a paint job for his helmet as well, awarded. A huge thank you to Root Imaging and Ryan Rudolph. So a new helmet paint job for Mike Rivera. Give it up for your Rok Shifter Master podium! All right, next up will be our Pro Masters podium. So our Pro Shifter Masters Division overall championship top 3. Beginning up with 3rd place here at the end of it all. He's already on the box for Rok Shifter Master. 3rd place in the overall, Mike Rivera again. P2 in the 2024 Pro Masters Combined Championship, Scott Presti. And your 2024 Pro Masters Champion, Matt Machiko. All right, next up will be our 2024 KA Junior Championship. This one went down to the wire like many did in the overall top 3. First up, third place in the KA Junior Championship, John Antonino. Your 2024 KA Junior Vice Champion, Enzo Vidmontian. And 2 weeks ago, this young man earned his first U.S. National race win. Tonight, he is crowned his first U.S. National Championship. Your KA Junior champ, Ty Fisher! How about that? Your 2024 KA Junior Championship podium. Let's get loud and proud, boys. Get the trophies up. Give it up for your KA Junior top 3. All right, next up, we'll move on from KA Junior to Swift Stars, the 8 to 12-year-olds, ready to go for their championship podium. We already saw the youngest superstars. We got our second youngest class with a cool prize headed our way. First up, third place, leapfrogging a ton all the way up onto the championship podium off his win tonight, Holden Myers. Your 2024 Swift Stars Vice Champion, Marco Salmon. And along with winning the Swift Stars overall championship, he's got himself a brand new paint job. Give it up for Parker Ives. What a run for Parker from dominating in this state for opening weekend. He rolls it into a championship, and we've got our top 3. Boys, trophies up above your heads, and give it up for your Swift Stars podium. Next up will be your KA Stars overall top 3 in the championship. A solid and smooth performance through this weekend, through the entire season, and a podium earlier on in the year has got him onto the championship podium. P3 in KA Stars for Finnegan Bailiff. Your 2024 KA Stars Vice Champion, his first full Senior Division Championship, Jackson Walney. And your 2024 KA Stars Champion backing up his performance from 2023, $7,000 in Lucas Oil School of Racing credits to James Overbeck. A 2-time KA Stars champion, hot off his main event win tonight. James Overbeck with $7,000 in credits towards the Lucas Oil School of Racing. Your KA Stars podium, boys, raise the trophies up. Give it up for your top 3. All right, next up will be your OKN Junior overall championship top 3 as your KA Stars drivers continue to celebrate. Let's go ahead and begin to clear up OKN Junior, Rockstars, OKN Stars, and Pro Stars to close out our final 4 championships before we'll open the podium up for all of you to come up and take some pictures. Third place in the OKN Junior Championship, Max Weiland. Your 2024 OKN Junior Vice Champion, John Antonino. And also receiving the championship credit for $7,000 towards the Lucas Oil School of Racing, your 2024 OKN Junior champ, the first in American history, Gavin Roberts. It's Davin's first Stars Championship, and it is the first OKN Junior Championship in the United States. Boys, celebrate it. You're a part of history. Trophies high up. Give it up for your OKN Juniors. All right, next up here, we'll go to our Rok Shifter overall championship podium. Third place in the championship was Chris Farino. He was not able to make it to the final round of the season here tonight. But we do know that we do have our top two in the point standings, and it was close. Less than 30 points separated them at the season end. Your 2024 Rok Shifter vice champion, Frankie Ayadavea. And your 2024 Rockstars champion will also be receiving a brand new kart stand as well as the #1 plate trophy. Give it up for Logan Hickman. All right, and now to our two pro divisions, OKN Stars and Pro Stars. And the prizes get up once again for the Mazda Motorsports Pro Show divisions. First up with your OKN Stars Championship. Third place with the dust settled in the OKN Stars title fight, Caleb Gaffera. P2 in the 2024 OKN Stars Championship receives $15,000 in credits to the Lucas Oil School of Racing. Give it up for your vice champ, Diego Ramos. And your 2024 OKN Stars champion will get an automatic bid to the Mazda Motorsports Scholarship Shootout. Give it up for Paulie Massimino. Once again here, the prize is a huge thank you to Mazda Motorsports and the Lucas Oil School of Racing. $15,000 for the Lucas Oil School, credits to Diego Ramos, and an automatic bid to the Mazda Motorsports shootout later on this year for Paulie Massimino as your 2024 OKN Stars champ. Fellas, one more time, trophies high above your heads, and give it up for your OKN Stars podium. And finally, your Pro Stars overall championship top three. Third place here at the end of the Pro Stars championship and clawing his way up the board at the end of the season, Gavin Bailiff. Your 2024 Pro Stars Vice Champion also receives $15,000 in credits towards the Lucas Oil School of Racing. Give it up for your Vice Champ, Billy Musgrave. And your 2024 Pro Stars Champion, your night fight race winner, a dominant weekend, and an automatic bid to the Mazda Motorsports Shootout, AJ Myers. And to send off the Stars Championship Series in style, an average of more than 250 drivers at every event in 2024, a massive season. Fellas, get those trophies up. And crowd, one last time, give it up for the Stars Series in 24. The podium will open up for all teams and drivers and families that would love to come and take some pictures. And for all of you watching along at home, thanks for the coverage. This entire season's been a blast. And AJ Myers is taking us into the rest of the evening here for the night fight.